Well, hello there. Today we will be talking about interchangeable. No, we're not talking about. I don't get to talk about Batman today. Let me try that one more time. Hello, everybody. Today we will be talking about World War II. Hello everybody, my name is John Purple, and in this episode today we will be talking about Pearl Harbor specifically. Not all that good juicy stuff, just kidding, Pearl Harbor's pretty good. And this is what got us in the war. Broad context, future John Purple. Thank you, past John Purple. Well, for some broad context, the war is going crazy over in Europe. The Nazis, they're invading the Sudetenland, killing a bunch of Jews. It's not good stuff. They're being a little tyrannical. And you see, Russia over here, I guess Russia's on this side for it. Russia over here and Britain over here, they're trying to keep Germany contained. And then there's Japan over here who's taking advantage of all that war over there. Like, yo, I'm gonna invade China. Boom, invading China, kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. And then Germany's like invading Sudetenland, Poland, and taking over all that stuff. And so you're like, they're kind of friends, because they're kind of working together. And we're friends with Britain, who aren't friends with Germany, who are now friends with Japan. So we're like, wait a second. If Japan's friends with Germany, and Germany is not friends with Britain, and we're friends with Britain, then we can't be friends with Japan, which means no more oil. Thank you, future John Purple. It's present John Purple here. So you see, now that we're not trading with Japan anymore with the oil, Japan can't do their war effort very good, all right? It's like, how are they supposed to sail over, all that stuff, over to China to blow them up? Like, well, we need some oil. Maybe we're gonna have to go get our own oil. And we're angry at America for not giving us their oil anymore. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna get some sweet, sweet, juicy revenge. So you see, this is when things start getting real complicated. So there's kind of what I like to call the love pentagon. So you see, there's the USA over here, and they're in relations with Britain over here. But then there's the side relationship with Russia over here. But they're official, okay? USA is not official yet, all right? But they're supplying Britain with a lot of stuff, and they're fighting Germany. And now Germany's like, yo, Japan, you want a relationship? Like, everybody's doing it right now, And so Japan and Germany are like, yo, let's hook up. So they're a thing now. But Germany is kind of jealous of the USA for in all these good relations with Britain. And Germany wants Britain. So Germany's like, yo, Japan, blow up USA. I want Britain for myself, But now, if you remember from future John Purple's broad context, thank you, future John Purple, we've had a relationship with Japan before, the oil trade thingy. Things are a little awkward now. Everything's a little mixed up. And so it begins. The Japanese under General Yamamoto decide to attack Pearl Harbor, the basing ground of all of America's fleet in the entire Pacific Ocean. And so, on December 7th, 1941, in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, Japan attacks the United States of America. At 3:42 a.m., the minesweeper USS Condor sights what may be a submarine periscope in the USS Harbor. Then at 6:10 a.m., nearly 200 Japanese planes take off from their aircraft carriers nearly 275 miles north of Oahu. Then at 6:45 a.m., the destroyer USS Ward fires on the Japanese submarine. These are the first shots of the USA in World War II. The captain of the Ward radios the headquarters of the 14th Naval District, responsible for defending the Hawaiian Islands. He says, "We have attacked, fired upon, and dropped depth charges on submarine operating in defensive sea area near Pearl Harbor." The district commandant, assuming this to be an isolated incident the Ward and a relief destroyer can handle, takes no action. The Commander of the U.S. Pacific Fleet decides to await confirmation before acting. And less than 10 minutes later, U.S. Army radars spot the planes heading towards Oahu and Pearl Harbor. At 7:20 a.m., an Army lieutenant disregards this information, believing it was simply a squadron of B-17 U.S. bombers. 7:40 a.m., the first wave of Japanese aircraft reach Oahu. At 7:55, the official coordinated attack on Pearl Harbor begins. Not 15 minutes later, the USS Arizona explodes. 7 minutes after that, the destroyer USS Helm fires and sinks a Japanese submarine at the entrance of the harbor. A little over half an hour later, the second wave of Japanese fighters attack, numbering nearly 170. And then at 9:30 a.m., the USS destroyer Shaw explodes in its dock. At 10 a.m., the Japanese planes head back to their carriers, eventually returning to Japan. Now, thankfully for the United States, their aircraft carriers were not present during the attack. They were out doing drills in the Pacific Ocean. These aircraft carriers would later prove vital for the Pacific War effort. Now, future John Purple, could you tell us the effects of Pearl Harbor? Of course, past John Purple. Now, let me tell you, America was not happy about this. American soldiers had been killed by an unprovoked attack. What are they going to do? They were trying to stay neutral in this war, but after this, they had to get involved. They couldn't be bullied. This was an outright act of aggression. And FDR petitioned Congress for war. Another effect of this attack was now Americans didn't like the Japanese because they had just killed Americans on American soil. Now, this created a lot of animosity towards Japanese Americans, especially in the West, creating Japanese internment camps. My work here is done. Back to you, past John Purple. Thank you, future John Purple. Now, it has begun. One day after America declares war on Japan, Germany declares war on America, so the World War has officially begun and has become a worldwide war.
Yep.
This is important because now America is battling on two fronts, the Pacific front and the European front. Pearl Harbor has more applicableness, if that's a word, to the Pacific front. Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor's intent was to solidify their dominance in the Pacific theater. However, it did the exact opposite. They lost their complete dominance, and America began island hopping towards Japan in the Pacific theater. Now, America during this war was very, very united on the home front, Pacific theater, and the European theater. Everybody was united, everybody's working together, and everybody was all in on this war. America's was more united than it had probably been since 1776. And you know what this reminds me of? 9/11.
Yep.
And why 9/11, may you ask? 9/11 was an attack on American soil, taking many American lives. And what was Pearl Harbor? An attack on America, taking many American lives. And the effects of both of them were very, very similar. America became very, very united after both. And so there it is, a quick crash course on Pearl Harbor. We're done. We're not done. Yes, we almost forgot. The mystery document, my favorite part. December 8th, 1941, Wittant, for the former naval person, London. The Senate passed the all-out declaration of war 82-0. The House passed it 380-1. Today, all of us are in the same boat with you at the people of the empire, and the ship will not and cannot be sunk. So my guess is that this was sent from probably America to Britain, because it says London, and it sounds like, yo, we just like passed war. So I'm gonna guess it's sent by FDR to Churchill. Let me check. I don't know where to check. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Ah! And that, my friends, is another episode of Course Crash. John Purple out.